All right, let's see. All right, well, we're continuing to have broadcasting difficulties, it looks like. But nonetheless, we're going to move ahead with this with my little presentation. I want you to think for a second. Imagine that you had some sort of secret weapon to win more consulting deals. And just think about it. What would you do? If you had one magic tool to win more consulting tools, what would it be and how would you actually use that tool? And I think one of the ways you can do so is when you're going in for these consulting deals is having a better understanding of your client's industry, right? If you knew your client's industry better, you had a better strategic assessment, I think that would be hugely helpful to you. Imagine if you knew the segmentation of that industry, the products, if you knew the psychographics of the customers of that industry. Imagine if you had an idea of the five forces, Porter's five forces model. If imagine if you could go out and research and understand if is the business growing or is the industry growing or shrinking, what stage is it in. Imagine if you could know if do a full-blown pestle analysis to understand the macro factors that are affecting that business. Imagine if you knew that stuff instead of walking into a client site and pitching your everyday crap. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to increase your ROI. We're going to reduce your, all the same stuff that everyone's pitching. Imagine if you had a bigger picture, a macro understanding, and a more nuanced understanding of the industry that your clients in and the challenges of those clients. Do you think you could win more deals? Right? Um, what do you think? Do you think you could win more deals? And I would argue that the answer is absolutely yes, you can win more deals. Now, I wrote this strategy bot that I've been using, and I was goofing around. I wrote it for my Six Sigma classes and my Six Sigma world just to help people better understand strategy. And you've heard me say this over and over again. I'm like a broken record. The skills that are going to be required to compete in the age of AI and automation are critical thinking, which, come on, folks, we're lacking in that. We're lacking in that area right now hugely. Critical thinking, complex problem solving. Just look at the government. Look at politics are abound right now. In the UK, they're going to have elections. In the US, is having an election. Or do these folks actually realize the problems and how to solve these complex problems? Or are they manufacturing problems to get votes? Data literacy, understanding data, and that includes understand statistical thinking, a gap. And of course, we have data and analytics, innovation, and strategic thinking, all things that people claim to have and are in high demand. Now, we know this labor costs are going up, taxes are going up, regulations are going up, and companies are going to have to figure out how to compete in this new age of um, mediocrity, I will, right? If we start talking about, you know, equality and all that stuff, that comes down to mediocrity. We're no longer celebrating excellence. But what are the companies to do? What are companies to do that really want to continue to be superb and excellent? And then what kind of services can you pitch them? And these companies that want to be superb and excellent are looking for people that can actually solve their problems, right? We're going to come in and you hear the same stuff over and over. The lean folks, we're going to improve your velocity, reduce your inventory. And the knuckleheads, the only thing they can say is, oh, inventory is a waste, right? We want to know how we're going to make more money in today's day and age where taxes have gone up, regulations have gone up, and states and government and employees have more rights to the business than the shareholders do. So imagine you're going into this company and you want to pitch a deal and you're pitching your traditional Lean Six Sigma stuff, you're pitching your typical OPEX stuff, but you don't have a good understanding of their industry and the dynamics and the forces affecting it. Well, you can, folks. If you took the time to sit down and write a strategy bot that can do all those things I've just spoken about, do a segmentation analysis, do a psychographic analysis of that industry, do a five forces model on that industry, perform a pestle analysis on that industry, take the time to do a SWOT on that industry, then do a blue ocean strategy and come up with some real serious, out of the box things. Do some scenario planning, right? Scenario planning, that 20 or 10-year look ahead, and start pitching a deal that says, hey, look, we understand the industry where it's going. We understand the psychographics of the industry. We know where that industry is in its life cycle, rather than some bogus information that you've gotten from other clients. You can make it more specific. That would be helpful. Well, my little strategy bot has been so helpful to so many people, and I think more of you need to figure out how to go about doing this and having greater insight into your clients. And for those of you who aren't taking advantage of AI and its analytical research capabilities, you're out of your minds, right? Because there is so much data out there. And with the new chat bots and the ability to create large language models on your own, holy cow, you can take all your research data, bring in all your best practices, have it write proposals for you, analyze things that you've done wrong in the past for certain clients and what you could have done better. The world has changed. I am telling you, the small consultants that are going to be agile and use AI to get better insights, to think about automation, to think about AI, are going to be way ahead of the game. These big lumbering consulting firms that have been selling the same bag of crap, they're out the window. They're only out the window, though, if people are taking advantage of this AI. I happen to be involved with one company that has the greatest ability, this phenomenal ability to create agents and do all this research, bring all this automation back. It does desktop automation. It's AI driven. It can open up apps on your desktop, open up Google Sheets, go to any website, pull out all this data. It's automating the heck out of a lot of work, right? And you've heard me say this before, right? I think project management and project managers, that's the first non-value added job I would hone in on and get rid of, right? And then I would look at customer service, anything that's codified. But I want to focus in, come back, and I'm getting on my high horse here about AI and automation, but be more strategic. And I understand many of you have been talking as if you are strategists, as if you know strategy, and that's not the case. So just think about the benefits of AI and writing a good prompt. My prompt will generate over 25 pages of insight. All I have to do is put in, analyze this industry for this product and service in this location, and it does this most amazing job, and then I can hone in and I can refine it. So just think about the benefit that would do for you when pitching deals to potential clients or customers. So I just think you should take that into consideration, because it's a thing that's here. It's a thing that's coming, and you need to be prepared for something like this. If you're not, you're going to take it on the chin. And unfortunately, I'm seeing a lot of folks ignoring this, a lot of folks doing the same old operational excellence stuff, not considering AI and automation. I'm seeing the same old folks talking about the way lean was done 50 years ago in these unicorn, perfectly aligned kumbaya companies that I'm not sure how many of those are going to exist anymore with all the pressures that are coming on. But think about how to use AI, especially, I'm looking at it in the Six Sigma world for strategic project selection, to change management, putting personas in there. But AI and automation with some good strategy bots and some good strategic thinking to augment what you're doing is going to be hugely beneficial. So, hey, I'd love for you to reach out to me, Dan Feliciano at OpEx90. I'd like to see what your strategy, if you have a strategy bot out there that you're proud of, I'd love to see what that output looks like and compare it to mine. Because again, my strategy bot will put out in its first run almost 24 pages detailed assessment of an industry and its location, including recommendations, psychographics, a VUCA analysis, you name it. I've built it into the bot, and I'd love to see what you have. Thanks a lot, and have a great weekend, folks. We're going to end the stream right now.